Coming to you from Orange County, California, this is the Jug Life Podcast with Max Ada and Chad Wesley Smith.
The organizers had said, hey, look, we want to do something special for you because we think you got totally screwed. And so they called and said, look, we want to recognize you at the Olympic trials this year. And I said, okay, that's okay. I'll go. And that also solidified my decision to go compete too. I was like, I want to be there anyway. Got to do it, right? But I didn't know what they were going to do. And then I knew what time it was going to happen. It was during the opening ceremonies. And so I go and they pull me back into this little back room kind of thing. And I walk up to these stairs and there's a big podium that's like elevated above the whole stadium. And it's got this big Jumbotron behind it. And they play the national. They basically bring me up for an award, for a medal ceremony, like a proper medal ceremony. And I think one of the senators from Oregon gave me the medal, and I had a whole laurel wreath and all the stuff that you would have at the stadium in the Olympics. And they play the national anthem, and a big, I don't know, a B-1 bomber or something. It was massive. Comes flying right over and does a flyby right at the finish of the national anthem. And I said earlier, like, I didn't really know what the value was with this gold medal, and for 5 years, like, I had no value. So there was no memory, nothing positive that was really associated with it. And here was an opportunity for me to get recognized in front of my peers, in front of like Tracktown USA, and still while I was competing, so my daughters could feel it and see it.
Yeah, and while your daughters were old enough to kind of understand what was like, Daddy, he spins around in a circle and throws the ball, but I think that they were old enough then to sort of get what was going on. And
I mean, it was awesome. I wore sunglasses for a reason, but like those are the moments that you can't replace when you don't have that medal ceremony in the moment. And I think that's ultimately, like, when I was thinking about what's the capstone to my Olympic career, I always had that medal ceremony as like, that would be the perfect thing, like to hear the national anthem and then be done. And the coolest part of that game, damn it!
This is why I made you do it.
So the coolest part of that whole thing,
it's
all good, man. Thank you. We said we were going to hug. The coolest part of that whole event to me was when one of the younger shot putters, Joe Kovacs, came up to me after I threw, because I threw right after that. And he said, I just want to say it was an honor to compete against you, and the first time that you've been announced as the Olympic champion in a competition. So when he said that, I was like, I hadn't thought about it. And I don't know, maybe it was what I was trying to find. Maybe that was the moment that I was waiting for, that would certainly add value to something that had been void of it. But it was at that moment that I really appreciated the fact that I'd had this process that lived up to my value system, that eventually rewarded me with the opportunity to compete with a bunch of young kids who saw me compete when they were 12 or 8 or however long, because I'm old. And that at some level I'd inspired them to do things in a way that they hopefully will never have to experience what I have. That they will, be rewarded in the moment. And so it was pretty cool. The whole day was surreal, but I think that's the memory that I take away from it more than anything else, is being able to actually compete and be recognized as the Olympic champion, which I'd never been able to do. And that was pretty awesome.